What's up, people? So, slick, calm, dead calm day, not a breath of wind. Good couple of fish that I've managed to catch, some nice ones, a 60, 50s and a couple of 40s, late 40s, really nice fish, but it is slick, calm. Fish have gone off the bite, so I figured, let me take a chance and run everyone through this boat. So, picked this boat up on the 1st of July in Christchurch. It's an American built center console, 6.1 meters, so 20 footer. Designed, built in America. It's got American trailer, everything is American, which is not a bad thing. Americans can really make awesome boats. It's fiberglass, it's quiet, it's capable, it's awesome. So I guess we'll just run through it from the front to the back, and let's see what it's got. So taking a look at the front, you'll see it's got these seats either side. Those also are hatches, so I've got a lot of my tools, soft blade, storage, you name it, camera gear and all sorts of other things that I keep in there. I've put these 3 rod holders in on each side. Those weren't there. What that also doubles at is for the wife or the daughter, if they're sitting down on those seats and having a sundowners, we can put an umbrella in there just to keep the sun off them. So yeah, this is where I plan to do most of my fishing, is up in the front, standing on these boxes. I'm going to have a Minn Kota in the front, a finder in the front, so this is the biggest part of the boat. And if you look at my videos on my small boat, I tended to spend a lot of time up front, and I guess it's from my bass fishing days where you want to be up on the front of the boat, and the fish that you see is the fish that's underneath you, not ones that you've passed. So yeah, so just moving up the front here. It's got a usual anchor, chain and all of that, and inside here is a stainless drum winch, a Viper. It's not something that I use a lot of. I guess it's good if you want to go and stop on a beach somewhere, but really I'm not a anchor or a bait and burley guy, and if I did, I'd use a Minn Kota once it's on. This hatch up front, nice little hatch, opens up, it gives you access to the winch. And it's also a good place to store your rope, and true of American boats is they've thought of everything. They've actually given you a little hole there, so your rope is in there stored nicely, out of the way, and everything is thought of. This little hatch was on the boat when I got it. That's for you to get in and actually to the bolts that hold the winch on if you want to get it off, and it's wiring. I've subsequently put this one in, and what that will be is for me to have access to the Minn Kota, the bolts that hold the plate down, as well as the wiring and everything for the Minn Kota. So all the wires are run, they're all sitting in there waiting for the plate. The plate should come next week, hopefully. It's been over a month. Stainless plates bolted on, and what that's going to have is the Minn Kota mounted on the outside, and then running along the gunnel. And it's also going to have a ram ball which will allow me to mount a 9-inch Garmin. So I'll have a finder up front, plus I'll have my Minn Kota, and this is going to be where my office is. So that by the time I'm out next time, that should all be on anyway. Yeah, it's got speakers either side, so if you want to play some boom booms, it's actually got 4 speakers, so it can make a pretty good noise if you wanted to. This hatch down here houses my batteries. So there's a starter battery and a house battery, all nice on shock absorbers, so you know everything's thought of. And then those 2 batteries, there's a big switch at the back that you can isolate, put on one or the other, or hook them together, whatever you want to do. So yeah, those are the 2 batteries, one running the motor and one running all the electronics and everything else, and they're pretty big. The center section, if you look at it, it's got these raised areas. You can actually get an insert made to make this one big flat deck, and I'll certainly something I'm going to think about in the future is to have one big raised platform that I can just jump on and fish. So maybe a project for another year. This year there's been enough projects on the go. So the actual center console, it's awesome. It's nice and wide, it's big. The windscreen's high. When I'm sitting on the chair, the wind blows over the top of my head, and even if I stand up, the wind just catches me up at the top, and I'm 6'2", so that's pretty cool. And then there's no seat in front of the center console because the console opens, and in fact that's where the dunny used to be. So I'll open it up. So there used to be a cassette toilet in here, not really my style. Good for the ladies. So what I've done is I've taken it out because this is where I've got my battery for my min coder. This is a 24 volt lithium battery. It's nice and light. Fits in here perfectly. I've made some angle iron brackets. It fits in there. It's strapped down. Can't go anywhere. And this is also where, behind the curtain, where all the wiring is for everything that's on this boat. So I figured that's a great place to have it. Yeah, and it's got a Victron 24 volt charger, quick connect hooked up to it, so when I get home I just hook up the charger. Of course, we've got the boom bucket. If nature calls, you can still climb in here. There's plenty space. Climb in here, do what you need to do, and then just put it on board. What you also have, like I say, Americans think of everything as this opens up, and you've got a bin. What I've got in there, in fact, is the cover that goes over the console to keep all the gauges and everything safe while you're traveling. So that's inside the hatch. It's really big. It's nice. It's a good storage spot as well. It locks, so you are able to, if you're overnighting somewhere, you want to put some of your more expensive stuff away, you can put it away. And then you have a cubby, which we'll show you from the other side on top, where I store lots of things. It's just another storage spot that's accessible. It's got a light underneath. It's white if you turn it the one way and red if you turn it the other way. And I guess that's just for you to see what's happening on the helm when you're traveling at night. So looking down the sides, there's a second set of speakers. So both sides are identical, so we'll just go down this side. You've got a kill hatch in the floor. And this kill hatch in the floor has got a macerator pump connected to it. So if you do kill something and it chucks, it throws up, and you have bits and pieces of bait and scales and stuff in there, you have this button here and you just press that with your foot. You can hear there's a bit of water in there from the rain, and it will actually chew up whatever's in there and spit it out. So that's cool. 2 rod holders each side on the gunnels. Fuel filler over there for the massive fuel tank, 340 liters of fuel that I can take, and that's probably one of the big reasons why I bought this boat, is so that I've got range. I can get out to those far islands. It's safe, it's stable, and it's got everything that I need. We'll get to the helm, but so at the back you've got this, a bit of a port here, a bit of a well. The motor sits on the back on a transom, and then you've got these rod holders and cup holders in front of you. There were 2, I put an extra one, so I can put 3 at the back and 6 in the front to travel. So when I'm traveling to a place, I don't have to put the rods in my car. I can take 9 rods here, between here and the front hatches, and I can travel with them like that, and they don't get damaged. The actual seat, if you look at the seat, it's got this backrest. This backrest can actually come off. It's just in rod holders, which is cool. So if you don't want it, if it's in the way, you can remove it, and then you've got a bit more space. And then more rod holders on the back of that. I don't really use those. They're at quite an angle, and I think if you had rods in there, you wouldn't be able to walk past at the back. And I have enough rod holders if we look up on the T-top. So it comes with 4 of these as standard, and then I've put another 3 bolt-on ones that just bolt onto the pole there, either side. So I can put 10 rods up on the T-top. I can put 3 rods at the back. I can put 4 behind the seat. I can put another 6 in the front. Plus there's 4 in the gunnel. So there's plenty of space to take rods, and that's always important when you're a fisherman, is to have place for rods. Not only just to take rods, but rods that are out of the way. When you're fishing, you want them up on the tower, out of your way, not bothering you. So we've got a 154 stroke Mercury here. When I got it, it had 43 hours on it. It's probably got 60 hours on it by now. Sea Star hydraulic steering, everything that you need there. If we look, this big hatch is the live well. This is a monster live well. Let me tell you, I don't know how many liters it will take, but probably over 100. It really is massive. It's deep. It's got a full pump plus circulation, plus it's got a light in there. It's got a filter for draining out. It's just awesome. It's nice and big. And what I do is I'll store like my deck wash. Just clips in here, and I actually just store that in there. It's not something I use all the time, and if I do have to live bait, I can pull it out. So what we've got here is we've got a deck wash fitting, and then again we've got that switch for the macerated pump on this side of the boat for this hatch. So both kill hatches, macerated pumps, they're quite big. You can fit a big kingy in there. I've just got my bollards in there, but if I need to tie up to a pontoon or a dock somewhere that I don't scratch the side of my boat. So I guess the business end, there's that little cubby I was talking about. It's awesome. I keep my GoPros and a few bits and pieces, suntan lotion, a scale, a hat. Keep that up there. It's got a spring which keeps it open, which is cool. It can also lock, so if you do have some stuff up there you can lock it. So if you look at the seat, it's got this folding footrest, which is cool. If you want to stand, you fold it up and off you go. Works really well. It's comfortable, it's fat, it's padded, it's real American comforting style. So alright, so moving on to the Helm, quick look. I've got a quad lock system here, holds my phone sucked onto the windscreen. I've installed a double USB charging port down there. One charges my phone, the other I plug in the GoPro or whatever I need to charge. Compass up top in case all the electronics fail, you don't know where you're going. Usual gauges, fuel, trim, whatever you need. Looking down this side, this is for the drum winch, up and down, and this is its circuit breaker. That's all that's sorted. VHF as usual, so you can talk to people, talk to the Coast Guard, everything else. Bit of a storage area up top here, which is the junk storage, batteries and whatnot. It's got a Simrad Go 12-inch finder. It's awesome. It's got that multi-transducer that does side scan, down scan, chirp, and all that all at the same time. Steering wheel, I've changed the steering wheel. I've put this one on that's got this ball. Just makes it easier for doing tight turns in such a big boat. This over here is for my trim tabs. So this boat being big, it's got trim tabs, which is awesome. It helps me to level the boat out. It doesn't need a lot of leveling, but a big fuel tank that's half full can swap around a bit, and poorly packed or poorly stowed gear, awesome. I've always wanted that. That really works a treat. All the different buttons, bilge pumps and lights and live wells and cockpit lights and pumps and stereos and all sorts. Obviously the control for the Mercury, sound system down there, and that's pretty much the Helm. It's really comfortable when you're sitting two people behind you. You don't feel any wind. It's got a full set of clears that closes it in completely. Haven't had to use them. I've been out in some shitty weather, side swells. I haven't even got a drop of water on this boat yet, let alone having to put up clears. It is designed reverse chines. Most of the water ends up flying out of the back. Nothing really comes on the sides. So center consoles historically can be a bit wet. This one is not. It's awesome. It's dry. It did come with U-deck everywhere. Some of you would have seen that. U-deck doesn't stick to a surface that has a texture. So I peeled it off, cleaned it all off, and I think it's a much cleaner and neater finish. It's easier for me to keep clean, and I think it just looks awesome. Makes the boat look bigger, makes it look cleaner, and it makes it look like it's ready to catch some fish. So that's it in a nutshell. That's my boat. I absolutely love it. It's a beast to get back onto the trailer. Getting it off is pretty easy. Getting it back on is quite tough. It's heavy, it's hard to turn. It's 2 tons. I've got an electric winch on my trailer, so once I get it hooked up and facing the trailer, it's very easy. Yeah, that's it. Absolutely love it. Hope you enjoyed that walkthrough. It's not something I normally do, but I figured most of the times you only see the boat from the point of view camera, or maybe a little bit from the other one, so I thought I'd give you guys a run through of my new beast.